Good day, Onder Papegaaiberg owners. It's that time of the year again. The first semester of 2023 is long done and dusted. Now, the yearly figures always give us a better indication of what the property market is doing. So always take a little bit of salt when we get to these semester reports. But it's always a good thing to see what the trends are, what we can see emerging and what the property market is doing. So I compiled the figures and compared the first semester of 2023 to the first semester of 2022, because the first semesters are always traditionally slower, so we need to compare apples with apples. Now, if you would like to receive this twice yearly report in writing, because we all learn in different ways, maybe you don't want to look at my face or listen to my voice, just hit me up on the email address on the bottom of your screen, and I'll put you on my mailing list and I'll send you the free report twice a year. Please do that then. But for those of you who like the video medium, let's get cracking then. In 2022, in Onder Papegaaiberg, there were 4 properties sold to the total value of 13.5 million. And the average price was 3,364,500. Now, in 2023's first semester, there was only 1 property sold in Onder Papegaaiberg. I know of some sales that are pending, but that's the only one that's confirmed for the first 6 months of 2023, and that was a property that sold to a value of 3.2 million. So with only 1 property sold in the first semester this year, we don't have much to work with. But if we look at the first semester of 2022, the highest price achieved was 3,995,000 for a property in Kiewit Street. It was a very big sprawling property with partially renovated, with big entertainment areas, a fully operational home office, and a completely separate flat-lit, or not flat-lit, a full flat with a kitchen and a lounge and everything of its own, and a pool and all the bells and whistles. And that's the one that almost achieved 4 million in the first semester of 2022. And the lowest price of the first semester of 2022 was 3 million for an older house in Torteldijk Street in the bottom of Onder Papegaaiberg. So as I've said, there's not much to work with. If I use that only sale in the first semester of Onder Papegaaiberg, it means the average has shrunk by 5.8%. But as I've said, once we have the yearly figures, we'll have a much better indication. And at the time of writing, there's only 3 houses on the market. So there's not a lot of stock in the market. That is also a factor. So what conclusion can we arrive at? If I look at some of the other suburbs in Stellenbosch as well, what we definitely are seeing is that the turnover in terms of units sold, the number of properties being sold is definitely down. So that's down by an average of 25% to 33% in terms of units sold, not rand value necessarily. The prices tend to be resistant and hold steady. So we've seen the effect of the interest rate hikes, all the trouble we have in South Africa, like the inflation, the Eskom troubles, and all of that is having an effect on the property market. On the plus side, we still have the semigration to the Western Cape. People have estimated, the clever people in an article, and I think it was the Daily Maverick, I'm speaking under correction, that the Western Cape will need a city the size of Bloemfontein to accommodate everybody that's going to be here by 2030, but that will of course be spread out over different areas, not in one spot. But we get what I'm saying, the pressure of demand will be here. But we will have to be realistic with prices, because the economy is really pushing people's affordability. What I've also noticed with sales this year, there's a lot more sales subject to the sale of a buyer's property, which is unusual in Stellenbosch, and usually it doesn't work because the demand is too high, and some of these sales are now actually going through. So that's also a change that tells you that the economy is pushing. What can you as a homeowner do? I sound like a broken record, because every single report I repeat this, but every year I find the same trend. You've got to look at the condition of your property. If your property is not well maintained, if it's in a rundown state, if there are cracks, if there are seepages, and if there are damp problems, neglected gardens, etc., you're going to get a much lower price than what it's going to cost to fix that. So maintain the property. If you're going to renovate, as always, start with bathrooms and with kitchens, and also take care of your security. I would even do that before you even start renovating the house itself, but don't overcapitalize. Then if you are considering selling, what you need to keep in mind is you need an experienced agent that knows your area, that's been into the houses that has actually sold and in the competitive properties, so that they know what they look like inside. You can't just work on statistics and averages when valuing a property. You might make a bad mistake and end up with a property that's incorrectly priced on the market, and that will always bite you in the in the end, because you'll get a lower price. So that experience on your property practitioner's part is necessary. Also, it remains a competitive environment. It has become a very technology-driven environment, marketing of property. So you need an agency and an agent that has access to the right tools to optimize your marketing on all the web platforms. And for that, they need the right backup, and they need at least professional photographers and access to tools such as Matterport, a virtual tour where you can even measure the rooms. You need to have all of those things these days in your marketing. If you guys want to chat about the market, if you need any advice, if you require valuation, want to sell or buy, please feel free to give me a call or drop me an email. I'll be happy to help. And until I see you guys again, happy house hunting.